Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Extreme Mediocrity Sports Show. I'm Kobe. Mike's here, and the combine is a wrap.
Yep. NFL Combine is in the books. Man, what I took from this combine is one word, and that is speed. These players really showed that they got a lot of speed, a lot of athleticism, and hey, man, it's needed, especially for the Commanders, but it's definitely needed in the NFL right now. So definitely a lot to get into. NFL Combine, we got some news, a lot to discuss today. Let's see. And first up, we could get into it. Who do you think? Because it was a few, but who are some players that you think helped themselves in this draft? I know some of them already were slated to get drafted high in this draft, but who are some players that you think really helped themselves after this combine workout?
This is actually a pretty easy thing to say. I think everybody's probably been saying it, but let's look at the Ohio State University here. First of all, how everybody from Ohio State performed in this combine, like how we did not win this national championship
I know.
is absolutely insane. Like, Indiana just did everything right. Kudos to them. But let's get into one linebacker, Mr. Sonny Styles, man. This dude is maybe the definition of a freak of nature. Like, he's built like Megatron. He's faster than Bijan. Set records everywhere. A 43 and a half vertical jump, 11-foot 2-inch broad jump, a 4.46. Like, like you're talking about speed, and like the NFL, like every year, it just seems like they're just getting these super athletes.
Mm-hmm.
Like the years of 330-pound defensive tackles just like slopping around on the field, those days are gone.
Mm-hmm.
Every single position has athletes now, and these generational size and speed guys. And he's not just that too. Like, he was out there making plays. So you say like winners and losers, but if you look at like the teams top in the draft, by winning and improving your draft stock, you're also losing because you're going to the Raiders, you're going to the Jets, the Cardinals, the Browns.
Yeah.
But Styles was the first person that really jumped off the paper for me.
Yeah, man. I mean, when you're starting to put up numbers, when you hear first all time of any linebacker in the combine, I mean, that's an elite class to be in. So, I mean, like you said, vertical jump was 43 and a half, first all time. And then the 4.46, 40 was first, in this year's class of linebacker. So, you took the word, right out of my mouth. I mean, when you think of Sonny Styles, you think of a freak. I mean, he's just an athletic freak. And even with the athleticism, he has it between the ears. He's a smart player, definitely a player that you wouldn't mind starting over a defense with to really control your defense. So with that green dot. So yeah, Sonny Styles, he definitely was a um, eye catcher, eyebrow raiser type performance. And then another one. First of all, we could stay on Ohio State all day because all those guys really showed out.
Yeah.
Arvell Reese, all those guys showed out. But this guy we're about to get into, Taylon Green, QB from Arkansas, 6'6", 227, 40-yard dash time. He ran a 4.36, second all-time in QBs at the combine. Vertical jump, first all-time in QBs with 43.3 and a broad jump of 11.2, first all-time in QB. So, I mean, again, athletic QB, and who wouldn't want a QB like this to put into their QB room and develop?
Yeah. Develop is the key word there. And so second all time in QB 40 time, right behind Michael Vick. Michael Vick was not 6'6", 227.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Styles is, as a linebacker, 6'5", 244. Like, that's insane size. And Green's not, like, a little bit taller and not far behind him in build.
Mm-hmm.
But dude was moving.
Yeah.
And I hope our newly found head coach, Todd Monken, is sitting there watching this tape, just like nudging everybody in the room. He goes, is this Lamar Jackson 2.0?
Mm-hmm.
But obviously our QB room is not spectacular. We got 12 there. We got Deshaun. But you can rock with those guys for a couple years. Let Taylor Green, like you said, develop. Don't throw him in there because he's not ready. Like Arkansas, I'm sure they had some like tough like SEC games and everything, but man, like a 5th, 6th round pick, you don't have anything to lose taking a guy like that. Like,
Oh yeah.
Like that has to be like if Todd Monken was to draw up the perfect quarterback for the combine, it would have to be Taylor Green.
Yeah, for sure. He's definitely gonna and that's a great developmental quarterback. You already know you have the athleticism and the speed. You develop that passing game to go along with it. So yeah, not a bad choice in those later rounds. And this next player, I'm hoping that he finds his way on the Commanders team, especially if we do not get one in free agency. But Kenyon Sadiq, 6'3", 241, tight end from Oregon. I mean, these numbers again is just crazy. 40-yard dash, 4.39, first all time among tight ends. Vertical jump 43.5, second all time in tight ends. Broad jump was crazy, third all time in tight ends. I mean, you get the ball into this player's hands, you already know he can get some yak. And going from what we had last year with Ertz, I mean, you give Ertz the ball, he catches the ball, but he goes directly to the ground. You get the ball to Sadiq, he can actually get some yards after the catch. So I hope he can find a way or a player like this on the Commanders. But I mean, again, just a crazy athletic player in the combine.
Yeah, last year this is what the Browns did. We had a star tight end in David Njoku, which he's now been released, but we drafted a Harold Fannin from I think it was Bowling Green, and he was just like the king of the yak in college. You could dump it off to him like 9, 10, 11 yards down the field, and he just made plays. And that started to be like a big trend too. Like Kittle and Kelsey and Gronk, those guys were big, brought the ball in. But this new breed of athletes, like all the guys we've talked about right now, similar builds, completely different positions, but just out there putting on a show. I would say his draft stock definitely rose.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to help out a pass game tremendously. So,
and this next player is definitely going to help out a passing game and a running game tremendously. Jeremiah Love, 6 foot 212 coming out of Notre Dame, and he didn't do the vertical jump or the broad jump, but he didn't have to. 40-yard dash time was 4.36, tied first among the running backs this year, and the field work, cone drills, and everything was just amazing. So I mean, he definitely showed why he was going to be worth a top 10 pick. And hey, I wouldn't be mad if at pick 7 I will kind of be a little, it depends on free agency, but
yeah.
if we do some good things in free agency, I wouldn't be mad at picking Love at 7 for the Commanders.
Boy, I heard the craziest take of all time. I don't know the guy's name. It came out of Barstool, Cleveland, and he said the Browns would be crazy to pass on Jeremiah Love at number 6. Sir, listen. Jeremiah Love, fantastic talent. He's going to help out any team he goes to, except ours probably. We have so many needs. offensive line is huge, and we lost a lot of offensive linemen. We let Wyatt Teller go. Batonio's not sure if he's going to play. We just brought in somebody from the Texans. But we need offensive linemen, wide receivers. But like Jeremiah Love, great. I'm not hating on Jeremiah Love. I'm hating on. I don't even know his name. I don't want to know his name. Dude from Barstool, Cleveland, with an outrageous take for the Browns. But yeah, I'm seeing a lot of rumors about Jeremiah Love and the Kansas City Chiefs, and that would be
goodness,
that would be a great fit for him.
Yeah, that would be a great fit for him. And now getting to a couple players that possibly hurt their draft position. A player out of Texas Tech, defensive tackle Lee Hunter. He already came into the combine with some questions about his explosiveness, and he didn't try to correct those questions about him. His 40 time was I think either last or second to last among D tackles. It was 5.18. It was rumors that his drills and cone work, feet work was slow. So not a good look for Lee Hunter in the NFL combine, especially for a big man.
Yeah. 40-yard dash time for a dude that's 6'4", 318 playing DT. I'm not worried about just straight line speed, but if he's lacking explosiveness, that means like you mentioned, his footwork's bad. And if you're hearing these things from media or coaches or whatever, going into the combine, you think, maybe you want to lock in a little bit, like, you know what, that kind of pisses me off a little bit. I'm going to show him I do have the footwork. I do have the hands, the explosiveness. Then you go out there and you're just, like we were just talking about, like these slow, big defensive tackles that don't, can't make plays. Like that's, we're getting away from that. You need explosiveness at every position in football now. And I mean, 6'4", 318, dude's got some size to him.
Big boy.
A 5'18", 40 is crazy, but then I picture myself running it, but I'm not an athlete. But I don't know.
I'm sure the graphic kind of shows me and you what we would look like running a 40.
And I look winded 20 yards into it, which is probably pretty accurate. But yeah, I mean, not every person's gonna shine in these things, but he's a draft prospect. He'll probably get drafted somewhere, and he'll be all right. He'll get a paycheck.
Yeah, will definitely have to prove himself once he gets drafted. And then another player that will probably have to do the same as a running back from Nebraska, Emmett Johnson, 5'10", 202. And again, he came into the combine with some questions regarding his speed. If he was able to have those game-breaking long runs down the field, and something that a lot of players showed, he didn't show that speed and agility at the combine. His 40 time was a 4.56, which was last amongst running backs this year. So definitely hurting his position in the draft this year.
I didn't see much of this guy, but looking at him right now, 5'10", 202, dude is built like a wrecking ball. I don't really think, I don't think he doesn't need a 4.3, 40 time. There's a lot of, coaches are going for it on fourth down more often. You have the tush push and all these quarterbacks need. You have a guy that's 5'10", 202. He's small enough he can probably get down behind the line a little bit. He's big enough that he can probably push forward. Again, like all these guys are going to have value doing something. Maybe he's not an every down back, but there's a lot of guys that aren't. But when they get on the field, they know their job. And again, it depends on like wherever he goes. If I mean, maybe somebody sees him as a premier back, but he can definitely be a situational guy.
Yep. All right. So speaking about the combine, the NFL is focusing more on analytics nowadays. So, but you also have some veteran players who rely on their instincts a lot over their declining agility and speed. So, um, do you think that analytics is more important than in having instincts, or do you think that having those instincts will still kind of out overtake those analytics that we try to use a lot nowadays?
Yeah, like like numbers don't lie. Numbers are always going to get you the exact result of what you're watching. But like something you can't really put a number on are these instincts. And I think both are important because you,
Hmm.
analytics, you can see everything on paper, but great instincts, decision making, quick thinking, all these things are going to be what separates, you know, whatever position you're at. Like it's going to separate you from everybody else in the field. And I don't think you can ever get away from that either. Like yes, numbers are important, but just to see how people react and handle themselves is completely different.
Hmm. Yeah. And then I wish that we could really at the combine get really be a fly on the wall in those interviews with the teams. That's one aspect of the combine where we don't really get to see unless there's like a hard knocks when the
Yeah,
Giants or whatever was doing a hard knocks, and you could kind of see the Giants interviewing Jaden Daniels and interviewing this guy, so you could kind of see how it goes. But I think a lot goes into those interviews, and I think teams kind of pick and choose if they want to pay attention to them or not. Because I know that wide receiver that the Bills drafted, I'm forgetting his name, but
Keon Coleman.
Keon, yeah. So that interview looked like it was a crap show, and they still ended up drafting him. And then you kind of could see on the field that it really, probably wasn't
Yeah,
a good choice. So I really do think that those interviews are, I think the interviews have to match the play on the field as well.
yeah. The interviews are tough because, well, one, how much media have these guys like really done? And
Hmm.
you're sitting there, you got all these cameras pointing at your face. You're probably nervous to be up there. Like this isn't what you do. Like you play football. But oh shoot, I forget his name. It was one of the wide receivers. They told him to like to name like the three, and he's I don't know, like it almost seemed like he was just like being a gimmick. I but you want to see these guys' personality. Like look at what's his the guy from the 40 Brandon Ayuk, a great
Hmm.
talent, and
Hmm.
and look how he's
Future
just like
commander.
he could be, but you see like you're starting to see like how he really is. Like you just like watched him spiral out of control, acting childish, doing all these things,
Hmm.
and the talent's there. But do you really want this guy in the locker room? And
Hmm.
I don't know. The interviews are tough. You think about it; these are what 18, 19, 20-year-old kids. Like
Hmm.
I mean, they're still kids,
Yeah.
uh, but I don't know. It,
I kind of like when I think John Gruden had it where it's like his QB,
that was
uh
cool.
and you can really see like the QBs get up there on the
Hmm.
board and really draw out some plays and really think about it. And if you was a team that wanted that quarterback or had a chance to get him, it's good kind of seeing that your QB that you're probably going to get can actually think about those plays, where they're going
Yeah,
to go to, work through their progression. So, some of those things where they're kind of put on the spot and able to kind of process those different plays is kind of good to see as well. You don't kind of want to see your player up there fumbling over some plays or,
yeah,
and I think a lot of teams, they kind of in those interviews, they go over some plays. They'll say they kind of want to know what the player is thinking. So they'll say, they'll put a play up and then they'll say, okay, even though you made this mistake, what was you thinking or what did you see?
yeah.
Just to kind of, get into the mindset of the player. So, um, all right. So does the combine performances predict long-term success? I'll let you go first, and then I'll follow up.
So for years, the 40-yard dash, everyone was always saying, like, is there anybody that's going to beat John Ross's 40-yard dash? John Ross played for the Bengals. I know that. I don't think he ever did anything there. I don't know if he played anywhere else. So this was the fastest dude in the combine for years. Couldn't play a lick of football in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of weird, like, long-term success in these drills. You look at these guys with really fast 40 times not do anything. Then you had guys like Carnell Tate. He ran like a 4.54 or something like that, which is a little bit slower. But you know who else did? CeeDee Lamb, Mike Evans, Puka. There was a couple other guys on that list. Like I think Amon Ra maybe. Like it's nice being able to see these guys out there, but you cannot base like I don't know, like long-term success is crazy.
Yeah,
you can be a combine warrior. Like Sonny Styles might be a terrible linebacker. We don't know that, but I don't know. You just gotta do your work. You know, you got to go into the analytics. You got to watch these guys, and you just got to pick the best guy out there.
Yeah, I think game tape definitely is more important than what you do at the combine in order to predict some type of long-term success. I mean, we had a lot of players, going through the combine, the Jamarcus Russells and a lot of first-round draft picks that when they got into the league, they didn't plan out. And on the flip side, we also had a lot of late-round draft picks, 4th, 5th, 6th, and even undrafted players that came into the league and actually, went on to have great and Hall of Fame type career. So I don't really think that the combine predicts long-term success.
I mean, you still have to end up in the right system. And like Brock Purdy has been great for the 49ers, being the last pick in the draft. I'll say he would have gone in the 5th round or something like that to I don't know, the Saints. Would he be what he is now? Probably not. But he ended up in a Shanahan offense. It's you gotta get these landing spots right.
Yeah. That's a great segue. Speaking of trying to get the landing spots right, will the Browns and the Commanders get their S together and draft a great player in the first round? So what will the Browns and the Commanders do? So we kind of have Mel Kiper's mock draft, probably 20.0 as a reference, but in his latest mock draft, he had Mendoza going to the Raiders at 1, Caleb Downs going to the Jets at 2, David Bailey going to the Cardinals at 3, Arvell Reese going to the Titans at 4, Spencer Fano going to the Giants at 5, and now GM Kovice.
Oh man.
With the 6th pick in the 2026 NFL draft, the Browns should select.
I'm hoping Spencer Fano is still there because that's
hey, that's why it's tough. That's why it's tough.
Okay, so our two highest needs: offensive line, wide receiver. I think there's decent depth for both positions, but I think it drops quicker for offensive line. I think you have to get. I mean, if Fano's not there now, I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. And I should have looked into
thinking
this
receiver.
No, I still want to go. I still want to go offensive line here. There's a couple other big boys. There's a guy from Utah. I don't know. I don't know their names. I just kind of see it in passing. But there's a couple big.
Still thinking O line.
Yeah, and only because, well, there's also rumors that we could be trading back. I've seen a trade back with the Cowboys. I think we would actually end up with number number 9 and number 20, so we'd actually end up with like 3 first-round picks.
Oh, that'd be crazy.
And I think if we do something like that, and who I really want, which I'm all right taking him at 6, would be Jordan Tyson from Arizona State, the wide receiver. I'm not one of these like delusional Ohio State fans that every good Ohio State player that ever plays, they just want the Browns to draft. Carnell Tate's a great talent, but he was the second best receiver on his team, like on the team last year. Jeremiah Smith, anybody playing opposite of him is going to put up these numbers, being half decent. Jordan Tyson was the guy at Arizona State, and I'm hoping he has like a little bit of an injury history. It's nothing crazy, but man, if you could hit on one of these big offensive linemen at 6 and somehow still have Tyson there, maybe not at 24, that's kind of pushing it, but if you can move back up to like 20, 19, 18, something like that, and get that's my perfect draft. A big old offensive lineman right there to protect 12 or Deshaun, and there's some other good receivers too, but they're kind of smaller slot guys. We have guys like that. We do not have a number 1 receiver, and we need one. So Tyson and one of those big offensive linemen. That's my plan right there.
Yeah, I don't think the Giants. I know Mel Kiper, has been doing this probably longer than we've been alive, but I don't think Fano's going to the Giants. I really think they're going to get Tate with that pick, so that could free up Fano, and I hope that's the case because I need Fano to kind of go. I need Tate to get into that mix to drop some of these defensive players down to the Commanders. So hopefully Tate can get signed somewhere in there, but we definitely need defense. Our defense was one of the worst last year. But we have a lot of holes as well. We need another wide receiver. We need a lineman. We need a tight end for sure. Are
you calling on Mr. Sonny Styles here?
You already know it. Give me the second coming of Bobby Wagner. Give me Sonny Styles at number 7 for the Commanders. And in a crazy world, because I do think that we're going to get a great one of them high-end pass rushers in free agency, either a Trey Hendrickson or Mafe. So I think we're going to get I think we're going to make a splash play because in Adam Peters' presser at the end of the season, he emphasized pass rusher. And I don't think we're going to really get that in this draft, in this spot. Because I don't think that the guy out of Miami is going to be it. With his
Ruben
short
Bain, I think.
alligator, with his alligator arm. So I think we'll have to go in free agency for that. But I do think that with Bobby Wagner getting older, I wouldn't even be mad at bringing Bobby Wagner back to kind of teach and mold Sonny Styles once he gets into the building. So that's a great player to learn from. And Bobby Wagner is only 60, I think, tackles away from the all-time lead. So I think he's going to try to come back for at least one more year. But give me Sonny Styles to the Commanders at 7. Definitely getting a defensive player. But I wouldn't be mad. My second, it's not going to happen. But if Bailey was to drop, I wouldn't be mad at that. But also, I also wouldn't be mad at trading back as well. We don't have a second round pick, so I wouldn't be mad at probably picking up a second if we was to trade back a few spots and then probably pick up, another defensive player. But yeah, man, give me Sonny Styles at 7, and hopefully that Kenyon Sadiq can slide down to the 3rd. I wouldn't mind.
Know. So
hopefully,
you're in need of a pass rusher. I saw this today. The Raider. Well, I guess you don't have another first, but the Raiders' asking price for Max Crosby right now is 2 firsts and another player.
Dang.
And I saw obviously the Commanders there was 5 or 6 teams listed. But would you be all right for bringing giving up some like future ones for Max
Actually,
Crosby?
I would not. I wouldn't do it. Even though he's a great player, eh, we've traded away so much capital and
Mm-hmm.
picks, with Marshawn Lattimore. We gave up, I think, 3 picks. We gave up like a 3 or 4 or 5, whatever it was, Then
Yeah,
for Laramie Tunsil, we gave up this year's second, which is why we don't have one. Then we gave up last year's, I think, fourth and fifth, something like that.
yeah,
So even though Tunsil panned out and we're going to re-sign him to an extension, um, I just I want to have all my picks because at the end of the day, we're still rebuilding. I
mm-hmm.
don't want to rebuild with these older 30-plus-year-old guys. I would take a Trey Hendrickson. He didn't play last year. He has a lot to prove. I wouldn't mind giving him like a 3-year, 90, 95 or so $1 million deal and probably just guaranteeing the 2 years, giving him like maybe 60 something guaranteed, just guarantee the 2 years on a 3-year deal. But I wouldn't mind like somebody like that wants to prove it and probably would even take a pay cut, to go on maybe a playoff contending type team.
Yeah,
So plus we have a lot. We trying to get Isaiah Likely. We got a lot of
yeah,
people we trying to go after. I think Adam Peters is going to cook
yeah.
this year in free agency. So he about to get active.
I wouldn't mind. You said Trey Henderson has something to prove.
Mm-hmm.
If he's having a little bit of a fallout with the Bengals, and he wants to kind of get some revenge.
Yeah.
Why doesn't he just come to Cleveland, play opposite of 95 right there, take
that would
that
be
pay
insane.
cut, have the best defense of the league and the worst offense. Just let it ride, baby.
Yeah. If anything, I think Trey, because he knows he has to prove it probably in order to get that contract he wants, he'll probably do like a 1 year,
Yeah,
in 30 or 35 somewhere. But
then
yeah,
he'll be
hopefully it's
looking
with
for
the
that
Commanders.
40 that
Yeah.
TJ and Micah and Miles have.
Yep. All right. Now transitioning. We thought that Brees Hall was going to be another running back added to the list. With Kenneth Walker and some other running backs that's going to be available next week. But Brees Hall got that franchise tag applied to him. So the Jets said, hold up, wait a minute. We are keeping Hall on the team. Probably, they need to keep as many good players that they have on the team. So, I think it's good that they actually are trying to find a way to work out an extension for him.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. He's kind of been like the one bright spot in this I was saying on the Jets offense, but pretty much on the Jets team in general. There was a lot of hype bringing in Aaron Rodgers, pairing him with Garrett Wilson on the outside. Brees Hall could be serviceable. That didn't work. He went through the whole Justin Fields, Tyrod Taylor, all this stuff. But now you have, at least for one more year, somebody that's been there. He said he wants to be there. He said he likes it there. I don't know what the Jets are in a tough spot in the draft because Kuiper hasn't taken Caleb Downs, which again, generational talent, but he is not helping that offense at all. And but that defense, lost Sauce and Quinnen Williams, but yeah, good for Brees. He got the tag with what, 13 million or something like that for 1 year. That's a good proving contract for him because he's been in the league for a little while now. He's not necessarily old, but he's not he's not one of the young guys anymore. So good for him.
Yeah, hopefully they can find a QB to help him out a little bit. All right. No surprise here. Marshawn Lattimore. He was notified this week that he's going to be released before the new league year. So, this was the trade that we were talking about where it just didn't work out. And I know Adam Peters, he was receiving a lot of backlash for this. People were saying that he wasn't good, or we need to possibly get rid of him. But you don't hit every single trade that you put out there. So Marshawn didn't work. We did give away some picks, but it didn't hurt us too bad. But definitely a player that didn't work out. We got him from the Saints when he was injured. We thought that we could kind of, Adam Peters said we got him for the long term, but that long term turned into a short term with his play on the field, and then um, his issues off the field, getting arrested, having a weapon in the car. I mean, just a lot going on with Lattimore, but no surprise. We saved, I think, about 18 mil
Okay.
with this release. So kind of a no-brainer for the Commanders.
Marshawn Lattimore sounds like he might be a fan of Drake. Says I'm here for a good time, not a long time. So, he, but yeah, these like veteran guys that, especially when they're injured, you bring them in. You know, they sit there a while before they play, kind of get used to the system, and if you can hit on it, that's great. But yeah, you can't every time. But because you guys brought in Bobby Wagner as well, and he's he's good, but he's still he's still out there playing, like making plays.
Yeah.
He looks good. But yeah, I'm sure Lattimore will end up on like one of these teams, like the Ravens or the Eagles or something like that. And what will he produce? I don't know, but those are definitely better situations for him to be in. So
yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I think that he'll get picked up later, not even before the season, but either mid-season or towards when we get closer to the playoffs. A playoff contending team that maybe has some injuries at corner is going to sign Marshawn on their team as they make a playoff push. So yeah, I agree. He's going to be like on a team like the Ravens, the Rams, Seahawks, something like that. Even the Chiefs, because they just lost a player that we're about to get into a little later. So definitely I could see him getting on one of those teams to try to help them out or give some depth on the team. And Kyler Murray, man, maybe he's going to be on the Jets, but the Cardinals plan to move on from him also before free agency starts next week. Just a crazy end to his career with the Cardinals, but hopefully he could come on the better side of this and get on a team and help them. But it's it's tough, man. He has some weapons over there. McBride and Harrison. He has some weapons, but
yeah,
I think it's, to me, those shorter QBs, it's hard to kind of overcome that height. I mean, if you're not Drew Brees, it's kind of hard to really, yeah. So, yeah, we'll see where he lands. It's probably going to be on one of those teams like like I can even see him in. I know Minnesota's looking for a QB. Jets.
Yeah, that's the one I heard. Those are the two I heard. Said either pairing him up with Garrett Wilson or up in Minnesota with Hawkinson, Addison, Jefferson. I mean,
yeah,
like Minnesota's in a great spot if they can just if they can just get. I mean, they're probably punched in the air right now. Like that's like Sam Darnold polishes his Super Bowl trophy.
Yeah,
but I don't know. Minnesota's got like they're close.
That would be crazy in Minnesota. Yeah, you get that running game going, and you run, and Kyler Murray starts to run. That opens up Jefferson. That'll be pretty good. And speaking of the Vikings, they're starting to clear up a lot of cap space. They're releasing some players. I think they're thinking about releasing their edge rusher. They just released Jonathan Allen today to free up some money. So yeah, they're definitely letting some of those.
I think Aaron Jones got released too.
Yeah, so they're letting some players go over there to kind of save some money. And we spoke about Trey a little bit earlier, but the Bengals did not apply the tag on him, making him a free agent. And I wouldn't be mad if he's on the Commanders, but he's definitely going to find a team that has some money to help them make a playoff run. But he is up there though in age, 30 plus. So we'll see. He sat out last year, so we'll see how that goes. But he will be one of those highly coveted free agent players next week.
I always like when these like big name free agents become available, but then I just get pissed off for like what I mentioned earlier. He'll end up with Baltimore. the Eagles. Like who knows? He could end up in Seattle. Like
I know.
it's
Eagle,
always
yeah.
it's the usual suspects every time. It's
Mhm.
like anytime like a half decent wide receiver hit the market, Kansas City. Like,
Yeah.
but
And what pisses me off is that so the Commanders is going to go into another free agent period where we have at least $100 million in cap space, and then we don't sign any of these elite type of talent players, and then you have like the Eagles or like somebody that has like maybe $20 million in cap space, and they always find a way to work
yeah,
these deals out. So I mean that just always just pisses me off. But hopefully we can sign some of these good players, but um, and a team that is actually trying to improve in an area that they were deficient in is the Rams. The Chiefs traded corner Trent McDuffie to the Rams for a first, third. That third is going to be next year in 2027. Also a fifth and a sixth round pick. Good for both sides. The Chiefs need to kind of rebuild a little bit and get some youth on that team, and the Rams they're trying to fix a big hole in that defense that was exploited in the playoffs last year against the Seahawks. So good for both sides, I think.
yeah. The Rams watched the Seahawks go out there and win a Super Bowl with pretty much just defense,
Hmm.
and I think they got to be sitting there looking like we have like an MVP and Matt Stafford. We have Puka. We have Kyron Williams, Devontae Adams. Like our offense is set. We just
Yeah.
need to shore up the defense a little bit, and they're not known for holding on to first round picks anyway.
Hmm.
So I like the Rams a lot next year.
Oh yeah.
That's a huge upgrade. McDuffie is a dog.
Hmm. Yep. They'll definitely be right back where they were last year. Now, just a couple more topics, kind of getting away from football, moving into baseball, which we have coming around the corner. And the Atlanta Braves designated hitter Jurickson Profar is facing a 162 game suspension for his second, being caught for the second time with was it PE, that drug use. So
Yeah, I don't even know what he got busted. I don't even know if it was the same thing that he got
yeah.
busted for last year, but like is this just like zero? Like is his awareness rating just zero? Like you got busted once, you missed half the season,
Hmm.
and now you're just doing it again. Like, oh well, they're not going to
Unbelievable.
check me again. I just served my time. No, you
You're
were like
number one on the
you
radar.
are at the top of that list.
Hmm.
Uh, commissioners Manfred's like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, I can't get fooled again. Like,
Hmm. Hmm.
just and he was like a like one of the top prospects in baseball.
Hmm.
That's actually probably been like 10 or 12 years ago now, but man, just a dumb move.
Yeah, and it's crazy seeing a lot of these players, especially in baseball, kind of throw their careers away with either PD use or gambling.
Throw it away. Was that a pun?
Yeah, you caught it, but it's crazy. Just these players just doing that. Just you know, it's like they don't even care. You make it to the league, and then you just throw it away. Just you know certain things that you can't take. If you know you're gonna consume a new medication or something, just get it checked by the team. Get it checked by
Yeah,
somebody first before you take it. So um it's crazy the players that we're seeing. And the MLB don't play. They give out, they don't just give out 5-10 game suspensions. It's either half the
no,
year or the whole season. So or lifetime ban.
yeah,
So yeah, just a crazy stupid decision on his part. um and maybe another stupid decision is both of these fighters coming out of retirement. Mayweather is facing Pacquiao, scheduled for September 19th in Vegas at the Sphere. I mean, there's rumors that Mayweather is going broke and he's doing this for
he
money.
has to
And
be.
yeah, it's just like, what? I mean, if this was to happen, because Mayweather versus Pacquiao one was a decade ago in 2015. Uh, if this was going to happen, you would have done it, a long time ago. So to do it now, it just seems like you're just doing it after money. And we know that Netflix is just handing out money for these type of fights just for the views. We know that it doesn't really matter. So I mean, I'm definitely going to tune in though. So I'll contribute to that that they're getting. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. Just two old fighters kind of just slapping each other around for a few rounds. So.
And as much as you might think Mayweather is doing this for money, Pacquiao's probably doing this to get that loss. Pacquiao has been training right beside that phone since 2017 or something like that. Just wait. He's like, I know that fool's gonna run out of money. He's gonna call me.
Yep.
I don't know. Like if it wasn't on Netflix, like I mean, we already have Netflix, but like, if we didn't, I would not. Go out of my way to get this, but I watched the Logan Paul Tyson fight. I'll watch this. It'll give us something to talk about. But
yep. So yeah, man, I think that was a lot, man. We recapped the NFL Combine, went over some news and some trades that was going on around the league. And I mean, next week should be huge. The tampering period opens up on Monday, the 9th. And then on that Wednesday, we have, the official day where teams can actually sign players. But on Monday and Tuesday, we're still going to hear that so-and-so team signed this player, even though it's not official. So definitely an exciting time next week. So can't wait for that. And yeah, we'll be on here again to talk about all the trades and signings and especially everything going on with the Browns and the Commanders.
Yeah, and basketball season is starting to obviously they're past the halfway point with the All-Star break, but both of our teams sitting at two different ends of the standings. But one of these future episodes, I would like to get into the NBA a little bit because I have some opinions I've been wanting to talk about. So
yeah, man, and speaking of that, man, Trae Young is making his appearance for the first time tomorrow freaking night, and it's pissing me off. We are going to throw away this top pick if we start to win. Hopefully we do not, but tomorrow night.
Didn't he get ejected from the game the other night in street clothes?
Yeah, he came onto the court arguing a call that the refs did, so he got ejected being on the bench. But I mean, I do like that he's integrated himself on the team, but when he first got signed, they said that he probably wasn't even going to play this season, and I was all here for that because we're trying to lose. If he somehow comes on a team and we start to win, I'm gonna be highly upset. It's going to be the worst thing ever that a team has done.
That's actually one of my very strong opinions. I want to what? I'm gonna go on a real quick. NBA All-Star Weekend, get rid of it. Also, maybe just get rid of the NBA. I cannot stand it anymore. I haven't watched a single game. So I do. I dabble in sports betting every once in a while. And every game I go look at, and I look to see who's playing, who's out. Every big name player on every team is out. Like injury management, just something
tanking,
and then all these tanking allegations. They're putting in new rules to stop tanking. Like, just go out there and play the. I am so glad I picked up hockey a couple years ago because it is actually hard for me to watch an NBA game now. And like the Steph Curry effect, everybody's shooting 45, 53s a game. I don't know, man.
We need to tank for one more month, man. One more month. Give me about 20 more games of tanking. But since this is first game, I don't mind him coming out and getting us a win tomorrow. But after that, just sit his ass. We don't need to have the Trae Young.
He'll have an undisclosed injury after this game too.
Yeah,
and he'll be shut down the rest of the season. Like, see, we tried. He got hurt.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely can't wait for next week to dive into that free agency period. But this was a long one, but thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Extreme Mediocrity Sports Show. Hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you know the next time we go live or we drop another episode. Leave us a comment. What did you think about the Combine? Who do you see your team possibly drafting in this year's draft. And hey, man, let's talk about these free agents that could be potentially on the Browns or the Commanders. So can't wait for that. Until next time, see you.
See ya.
Peace.